Hi everyone, this is Tammy, owner of Worthy, Worth It, and Priceless, and today's podcast is titled, Where Do You See Yourself? Currently, I am in the process of upgrading the equipment for the podcast, and with that being said, I do actually have, just say, a 4th edition of this recorder. I have the 4th edition, and with that being said, I bought that 4th edition last year. This year, where I'm realizing where I want to take the podcast, I am getting the 6th edition. And I was actually going back and forth over this decision because I was like, oh, I already have it, and this, that, and the third. And I was praying to God. I'm like, God, I don't know if this is what I want to do, or, this, that, and the third, whatever. So then I heard, in the midst of doing all of that, I heard, where do you see yourself? And to someone else, that may not mean anything to you, and I understand. But for me, it spoke volumes, because where I see myself is much bigger than where I am today. And that's what I want to actually give you guys encouragement on too. Where you are currently is not where you're going to always be. And a lot of times we settle, or we don't get something of quality because we're like, okay, I'm just trying to save up some money. Now, mind you, at the end of the day, if you possibly spend the extra money that you need, you wouldn't have to go back and buy it again. So basically, that's the same thing. That's the thing that's going on for me. Last year, when I actually got the recorder, I was in the market to buy it. I ended up seeing the 6th edition, but I seen another podcaster, not a podcaster, I'm sorry, a YouTuber, and she recommended the 4th edition. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I seen how it worked for her, this, that, and the third. So what I do, I bought exactly the same thing that she had. And then now I'm like, oh, that wasn't the best idea. Now, at the time, I didn't have the podcast, and I didn't have the podcast at the time or anything. So I was just using it basically if I was going to do a YouTube video. And maybe that would have been fine. But now, once again, I'm in the market again to get something, and I have to spend actually more money. So the thing is, it's like if I actually would have envisioned myself actually being much more than just someone on YouTube or anything like that, then I would have actually bought the 6th edition last year instead of doing what I have to do now. And the thing about it is, I just want to encourage you for the same thing. Where do you see yourself? You may be in the market, and I know I'm talking a lot about, money things, but it's not even just that. If you are in the market, let me just say this. If you are in the market of something, if you have the ability to get something of quality, even if you don't need it today, by the grace of God, trust in God that He will grow you into what you need. And that's only if you're in the market. I'm not telling you to go out of your way and get $1 million worth of equipment or do something like that. I'm saying if you already have the money towards something, why not put the extra money with it if you have it, to upgrade your services or whatever you have, so that you don't have to make a second purchase and just do it all over again. But aside from actually even spending money or anything else like that, think about in your life, where do you see yourself? What in your life do you want to accomplish? Where you are today is not where you're going to always be. And so sometimes we start that business, but a lot of times we may not have an end goal or an end vision about where we're about to be or where we're going to take it. It's like, well, this is just something that I'm just doing for right now. Nothing should be something that you're doing for just right now. It's not a meal or something that or a dinner that you're cooking. This is your life. So with that, if you're going to spend time on it, you're going to spend money on it, spend energy on it, have an end goal, have an end idea about where you see yourself. Don't start something just because it seems cool for the moment, because the problem is in life, a lot of things are trending today that won't be here tomorrow. A lot of ideas are trending and they're no longer around. There was a lot of girl shops and stuff like that, and now those stores are no longer open. They're bankrupt and all this other stuff. And so think about that even for your life or even for your career. Choose something that you love, that you would love to do, whether you were getting paid for it or whether you won't be getting paid for it. Because the problem is sometimes we ride the wave of whatever is important at the moment. And then once we ride that wave, just say if it's something that's trending, once that trend is over, all that money that you invested in whatever that you're doing is gone. Just say if right now everyone is wearing Pepto-Bismol pink, and so you go out and you buy all this stuff and you're like, yeah, I'm going to start a business with the Pepto-Bismol pink, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm going to have all these clothes with that color. And then tomorrow, everyone is wearing cobalt blue or whatever. And so the next thing, you know what I mean? Basically, you spent all that money on something that isn't going to last. Try to do something that you love to do. Don't let anyone else try to make you do something that you're not into doing, make you do something that is just basically trending right now. Do something that is good into your heart, because if you do something that you like to do, it wouldn't matter what the trends are. You'll be able to have ideas to actually grow that business, grow that idea into being something transformed and new. And then when that trend is over, you know, you will still be able to rise, because your stuff or whatever that you have come up with is far greater than just whatever trend is going on at the moment. So in closing, I just wanted to encourage you guys to not just see your self-worth today. Don't make just think with your mind, or just, just go off of emotions like, hey, I don't think this will ever succeed. And it won't ever succeed if you're not going to do the effort and work behind it. A lot of times people want overnight success, but that's not what's going to get you anywhere, because those people or those things that have overnight success, they don't have longevity with those things. Anything that has come easy won't last that long. So anyway, with all that being said, just know that you are worthy, worth it, and priceless, and that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Don't worry about what anyone else says. Do what is comfortable and what your heart tells you to do, and what you are drawn to do. And don't let anyone else stop you from living out your dreams. Don't think that where you are today is where you're always going to be. You may not know how you're going to get there, but if God has told you that that's what you're supposed to do, He will give you everything that you need to get to that next level. So don't worry about it. Just put it in God's hands and say, hey, I'm going to invest into this, because I know this is what God has called me to do. So until next time, once again, know that you are worthy, worth it, and priceless. Bye.